physical damage in the form of everything from shorts that were not from a capacitor being soldered on backwards, like like Asus's recent fiasco, or like water damage, right? Like really bad stuff, is a lot more than you'd think. And I think that most people out there, most of you in the chat, are probably by and large imagining that people who would try to pull that kind of scam are few and far between. But from my experience, it's absolutely not true. It's not true. There's a lot of people out there. Like I'd worked in retail and had people try and pull one over on me all the time. But because I'm pretty savvy,
is that potentially an exposure problem? Because like I remember when I worked at Geek Squad, I used to think, and I mean they weren't exactly doing great, but I used to think that HP laptops were just the worst thing ever, because it was like the only thing that we would ever get coming in with problems was HP laptops. And then I was talking to one of my mentors in Geek Squad, and he was like, well, have you looked at like the sales numbers that we're pushing through the store for laptops? I'm like, well, no. And then he pointed out that it's like 80-something% HP laptops at that time. So he's like, what do you think's going to come back? I was like, okay. They weren't great, obviously.
Yeah.
But it still was skewed by that type of stuff. Do you think it's potentially an exposure problem? You were noticing these issues largely? Like, what percentage of RMA things do you think were actual user problems that they were covering up?
Oh, absolutely. Most of them were legitimate problems. But what I'm trying to say is that if you see 100 threads on Reddit of people claiming that something was physically damaged out of a new box, a not insignificant percentage of them are lying.
I mean, you see a lot of that kind of stuff across the board.
Divided says your experience is also outdated. You're right. In the last 12 years, people have gotten so much better and more honest. That's absolutely a thing that happened.
We've definitely seen that globally. We've seen a really positive trend.
Yeah.
I mean, you see this across the board, right? You see this with cheaters in video games. You see this with everything. So
okay.
Who knows?
Now, let's talk about the other possibility here, okay? Because Gamers Nexus purchased an open box motherboard, it is entirely possible that it was actually a
the guy then. That was a player. I'm running that way. Weird. What the fuck? Shit. Weird shit in the fucking fashion. Probably could have killed that guy. Didn't feel like trying though. Felt like if I missed, it would have fucked me over. Whoever this guy is, he doesn't have this X skill. So, he needs to get his shit together. This guy literally doesn't have this X skill. I don't know why he's over here. He needs to be going toward Emercom. I think he's hitting stashes. He's hitting all the stashes. We're gonna have to go kill this guy and take stuff from him. That's granted he is hitting the stashes. I don't know exactly where he is. He's gotta be. He's gotta be. I don't know where else he would be. He's hitting every fucking stash, I think. Literally. Yeah, he's probably over here. He's gotta be over here. Where is this fucking guy? I would like to stop him at some point. I think there's a good chance that he's over here. this hit too? Yeah, it's hit. He's hitting all of them. He missed the one I got because he couldn't fucking find it, but I think he's hitting all of them. Maybe he just... Yeah, he hit all of them. Fuck! He's gonna exfil camp, maybe. With any luck, he's sitting up here and I can just clap him. Here's this scum bucket. I don't know where the fuck this guy went, dude. He hit all of them and then just took off. I suppose I can just reset. I think he's probably... He's exo camping in a weird spot, I think.
Missed bent pin or missed socket damage from the previous customer. You know what else is possible? It's possible that this particular motherboard, there could have been nothing wrong with it at all. We haven't actually gotten word from Newegg about that particular possibility. And I've actually got an additional possibility for you. There's a lot of people in chat that are like, so Linus says blame the customer? No, that's not what I said. I said that it's absolutely a possibility. So don't take, what I'm saying is don't take one side automatically at all, because there are a lot of different possible outcomes. Now, for the motherboard itself, the odds that the retailer damaged the socket are extremely low.
Yeah.
Like minusculely low. Because even at NCIX, where we did put our own label on motherboards up until like 2007 or something like that, even though they obviously have serial numbers, I was like, why are we doing this? Why do we put our own serial number on every product? They were like, because that's the way we've always done it. I'm like, okay, sure, I guess so. 2006, 2008, I don't remember, but sometime around there, they actually put their own labels on everything.
I think I remember that.
So even though NCIX did that, they actually had a way of doing it that they wouldn't even open up the tape over the ESD bag on the motherboard. They would slit the bag, slide in using a knife, slide in the thing, press it down and pull the knife out and apply it that way. So there is no reason for a retailer to open up the box of a product other than the one that they might open to take pictures, and you'd notice if the socket was bent. In fact,
I mean, even that one would just be sold as open box.
Probably, but that's another thing. Okay, motherboards don't come shrink wrapped.
Okay, because something I've been thinking of this whole time is they said they didn't open it, wouldn't it just be shrink wrapped? But yeah.
No. So that's something that I have wondered about for many years.
Really? This is a $500 board though. a lot of
Yeah.
high-end boards, don't they have a sticker over the?
Not necessarily.
No?
Motherboard manufacturers, for whatever reason, and I've never actually asked, but I've always
I mean,
been
less
curious.
plastic's good. I'm not against that.
But motherboard manufacturers do not generally shrink wrap even their very high-end products. And it seems to me that if they really wanted to put this to rest forever, sealing the